them some fight inside. Tristan's always been a great offensive rebounder. He can switch the pick and roll and move his feet for a couple of slides. So he gives Boston what they were lacking last year with that interior presence.
For the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics, when you look at the Eastern Conference Finals, the opportunity to go to the finals the last 4 years, I mean, these are two teams that have been in the discussion. So when you watch them in the opener, 3D, let's start with you on this. What do you see as something that each team's going to have to work on this season to get over that hump and finally make it to the finals?
We'll start with Milwaukee. Love Drew Holiday, what he's bringing to the table. But I think now it's time to call out one of my good friends, Bud Ball. Bud Ball, how are you going to tweak things in the fourth quarter? How are you going to tweak things coming down the stretch? Because you've shown us in the regular season you can put the best team and the best record together. But as you get into the playoffs, now you want to get deep. Now it's time to get that ring. I think more pressure now is going to come on Coach Bud to tweak some things down the stretch to win more ball games in the playoffs.
Well, since you went Bucks, why don't you go Celtics for us, Brendan?
Oh, man, I was going to go Bucks as well. I think
you know what? Then go Bucks, yeah.
I think they're still going to have to tweak some things with how they use Giannis, because this free throw and that air ball three he had down the stretch of this game show that Giannis might not be the closer. Down the stretch, they might need to put the ball in Drew Holiday's hands and allow Giannis to be a finisher. I think that's going to be key for this team. They're going to have a heart-to-heart with Giannis and say, hey, big fella, until you can make the shots necessary to be called a closer, we can't let you close anymore. Last 5 to 7 minutes, close ball game, we giving it to Holiday.
Hey, the name of this show is Crunch Time, and we know it worked well with LeBron and Kyrie, where LeBron was the best player on the team. When it came to can you get me a bucket at the end of the games, Kyrie Irving was that guy. So is Brendan on to something here?
Hold on.
Am I wrong, Brendan?
I can't let you misrepresent the king like that. Kyrie hit one incredible shot. But you acting like LeBron hasn't closed a bunch of games for Cleveland now. I can't let you mess with. Chris, I was in Chicago where he drew up his own game winner to hit the shot over Jimmy Butler in the corner. He drew that play up.
Okay,
come on now. I can't
let
you misrepresent the LBJ like that.
I guess the question is, 3D. I'm never going to disrespect LeBron James.
Good call, good
But
catch.
as far as having a guy that's a guard that can score at the end of games, is that kind of what Brendan is saying that Giannis could use?
It helps, but let's keep it 100, as we like to say. Giannis, you're the dude. You stayed, you got the big extension, the coach put the ball in your hand. All great players on every team get to that sweet spot and get fouled. The problem is you didn't walk up to the free throw line, lick your chops and say, thank you for fouling me, lick up and leave it and go to overtime. That's the problem. Everything else, what does every team do? You give the ball to your great player, go win the game for us. He didn't do it tonight.
Giannis has to perform better in the clutch and make those free throws. That's what 3D and Brendan are telling us. Jokic to Millsap, the interior passing. Oh, just a thing of beauty. Denver ahead by 4 over Sacramento, and it's Jokic doing what he does.
Oh, Foxy with the steal.
Oh, so quick in transition. Michael Porter Jr. off balance.
Hey, weight room.
Yeah, weight room, good call, yes.
And the Stifle Tower also signed a new deal.
Got that new money.
Providing some offense, but it's the Blazers ahead. Let's go live to the Blazers and the Jazz. We head out to Portland. And at the free throw line, we saw Giannis miss the free throw, and there's Covington coming up short here in the first quarter. The Blazers, one of the deeper teams in the league, Brendan. I mean, when you talk about Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum, we know those guys, but they brought back Enes Kanter. They get Rodney Hood back from injury. This is a team that got deeper this offseason.
They got deeper, and they found a couple of two-way wings that I think are really interesting. When you talk about Covington, I think he's going to be key for this team. They brought in they brought back Rodney Hood. Then they brought in what's the Flyers' name from Miami? I can't think of his name right now, but they brought him in also. So they brought a lot of guys. Derrick Jones Jr. Yeah, I can see his face, but his name was escaping me. Derrick Jones Jr. Another guy that's going to help this team. They need as many long, lean athletes that can go out there and play defense and hit shots as possible so they can match up with a team like the Lakers.
Yeah, I agree with you, Wood, and I like everything they've done too. Is when we got deep in the playoffs, when Dame got a little nicked up, CJ wasn't making a few shots. They couldn't find that third or fourth guy to make shots consistent enough to get over hump. So I agree with you 1,000%. As Derrick Jones Jr., I think, missed that jump shot right there.
Yeah, for the Blazers offense, it's been a long time that it's C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard. But you think by having Nurkic inside, by having Kanter inside, I mean, it does seem like it provides more balance.
Sometimes, and Brendan helped me out with this one, the balance is a word we use for conversation, Chris, but let's call it what it is. LeBron James and Anthony Davis ran the show down the stretch. And when they got double teamed, KCP made a couple shots, Corso made a couple shots, Kuzma made a shot when he had to. So it's like your stars still run the show, but do your complementary players make the shots when they need to, as the Lakers showed us? That's what we're talking about with these Portland Trailblazers. Brendan, what's your feel on that one?
I think you're 100% correct, 3D. We all know that Dame and CJ are going to make shots, but are the role players going to step up and knock down those shots? And more importantly, are Dame and CJ going to be able to win games when shots aren't falling? Most really great superstars have another layer to their game. Like, hey, if Bron's not hitting shots, he might get 10 assists. He might make some key defensive plays. I think that's something that this backcourt has to do. If we're not hitting shots, okay, we're going to get everybody involved and get 8, 9, 10 assists as a group. That's what they're going to have to do to diversify their portfolio.
Brendan, Jordan Clarkson just hit that three-pointer for Utah, and CJ almost went treetops to knock that one down. But for Jordan Clarkson in the bubble, he really seemed to find his rhythm or have his rhythm and be in it and know his place in this offense coming off the bench. It seems as if that's the case to start this season as well. Okay, we look around the league again. San Antonio Spurs, Minnesota Timberwolves, the latest to get victories. And check out the Hawks, 124-104 over the Bulls. Marvin Bagley, healthy, catching the hoop and finishing. Sometimes, Brendan, you got to bring it down to put it back up. Chris Paul getting ready for his debut for the Phoenix Suns against the Dallas Mavericks. What kind of impact can he have immediately, Brendan?
He comes in, he instantly brings credibility to this team. He brings leadership. We saw what Chris Paul was able to do last year in OKC. Everybody thought OKC was going to be rebuilding last season, and Chris Paul came in with his leadership. He helped make that team a playoff team. I think he does the same thing for the Phoenix Suns.
I agree with you, B. Wood. Last year, everyone was speculating. If I'm living through Devin Booker right now, I'm getting my guns loaded. I'm getting stretched up real good. I'm running the floor, B. Wood. I'm getting my shot ready because Chris Paul's going to put it right on me. Now I should get more catch and shoot opportunities, easy scoring opportunities versus last year, a lot of more one-on-one opportunities. Somebody
that makes scoring look easy. Oh, these guys, John Morant getting buckets at top of the leaderboard tonight with 44. Terry Rozier, 10 3-pointers with 42. But how about Trae Young?
Ice Trae like that already?
7.
Okay, Ice Trae.
And let's take a closer look. Well, here's an assist to John Collins. That connection, always a thing of beauty.
Pay that man!
Say it again, Brendan.
Oh, my goodness. Pay that man. Oh, and they're going to have to pay that man, too. Look at those moves by Trae Young. Ice traded game. He's filthy, 3D. Ooh.
Yeah, I love it, man, because the confidence is off the meters, but now he has two different guys to play. You got Collins, you got Capella. You got two guys now that live at the rim. So now when you, like that in-between move, you breaking it down. Now the defense is stuck. You break it down. Either guys will catch an alley-oop, and then you step back and you leave and shoot the three. So pay Ice Trae, pay Collins. Hawk fans, you finally got something that once fans can get back into the State Farm Arena, you got something worth watching now.
You know, it's interesting to see these teams with these young players that hadn't played in 287 days. The Hawks look sharp in their debut. And Nikola Jokic picking up right where he left off, working down low. He has 13 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists.
See, home, that's tough right there. And Brendan knows it's like your man's like, I can guard him, but home, that's about 3 bumps. It's okay to ask for help. That's the Joker. It's okay.
No, no, don't ask for help. Yell for help. Help me. It's the real deal.
Yeah.
It's not a test. Help me.
The Joker flirting with a triple-double, getting another bucket there. And there's that pick and roll. Buddy Hield, De'Aaron Fox, and then Troy Halliburton, their lottery pick this year. A lot of guys that can play the pick and roll. Brendan, how will that help Marvin Bagley? Not your traditional big playing down low, but a guy that can really roll to the bucket.
Listen, when you have multiple guys that can play in the pick and roll and you're a big that's dynamic, that can play in front of the rim, that means you can live in the lane and get anywhere from 8 to 10 easy points just by being active. That's key for a young player like Marvin Bagley because 3D, you know how it goes. You get a couple dunks, get a couple layups. Next thing you know, it gets a little bit easier to shoot that jumper.
That's right.
Marvin Bagley so far 11 points, 5 rebounds, 9 shooting. Fox with 13.
So my question for us guys is with the West being the way it is Sacramento ready to get to that next level? Fox got his contract, Buddy got his last year, Bagley's been banged up. It's like, I like what I see, Brendan, but are they ready yet? They still a couple more years.
Nah, they're not ready this year. The West is loaded, man. Like, I like the Sacramento Kings. I love Buddy Hield. I like De'Aaron Fox. I like Bagley. I like